All right, Spinny. We don't give a what you did this weekend. What we cared about is your reaction to the Detroit Lions ass whooping.
Yeah, they got absolutely bent over by the Green Bay Packers. It was, I know that you guys have heard this for a couple days now, but that was an embarrassing loss for the Detroit Lions. They got absolutely manhandled at the point of attack on both sides of the ball. The defensive line was absolutely outmatched, and as was the offensive line. I don't think any single player on the offensive line had a good day. Even Penei Sewell, by his standards, he didn't have a good day.
Because I'm going to get it right up in you.
It's not like he had a bad day. Like, I don't even think he let up a sack, but...
So you hate Penei Sewell is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what you heard, but...
That's how Neil would do you.
Yeah, it would. Oh, yeah? He's the best ever. Yeah, he is, but he had a bad day. Everybody had a bad day. Got to be better. That is one thing... I mean, it definitely helps that I was in paradise, so I took the hit a little better, where I wasn't crashing out super hard. But it's also the offensive line is extremely young. They're going to improve. They're going to get better. A lot of when you go back and you look at the film and you watch the tape, a lot of it was miscommunications in the interior offensive line between Graham, Tate, and Christian Mahogany.
Some of it.
A lot of blown coverages, a lot of two guys blocking the same person, a lot of two guys going to the same spot while there's just open rushers to Jared Goff. That will get solved, and that will get solved quickly. Hank Fraley will be all over those guys in the lock, because that's even if you have a rookie and a guy that's only played 2 games, that is unacceptable for professional athletes to perform like that. You got to be better. Have to. They know that. I'm not going to harp on that too much. The offensive line knows they went out there and they got their ass kicked. They're going to be mad. They're going to come back. You got the Bears. Take care of home field. Take care of business. But, yeah, not a lot of good things to come out of that game against the Green Bay Packers. Kind of dominated on all facets. Jahmyr Gibbs couldn't really get much going. Jared Goff didn't have any time. The route concepts were bad. There were no shots down the field. It was a very rudimentary offense, a lot of dump-offs. They moved the ball well, but when they got in the end zone or in the red zone, they couldn't do anything. It was just almost as bad of a game as I've seen this Lions team play under Dan Campbell, even in the first year. Like, with the level of talent you have on this team, to consistently not get any pressure when you're blitzing multiple guys at the same time, like sending Jack Campbell and Brian Branch and still not getting pressure, when you can't contain or you have bad communication in the back end of the secondary, resulting in blown coverages and lapses on pick plays, like Terrion Arnold getting beat on that pick play. That needs to be something that you communicate with Brian Branch or with the safety and pass that off. That needs to get better. It was a very sloppy game for the Detroit Lions, and it was not. There's not really one thing that I can buckle down and say, hey, that was good, or I was happy with that, other than maybe Sam Laporta. But outside of that, it was a pretty poor game all around.
Yeah, I think the only thing I was, and I was gonna put this in prep, but to be honest with you, they don't. All due respect, don't deserve it. Because I want to take like the route with people. Like yesterday, I crashed out. I finally just snapped because people in the comment section like, why you gotta be so negative? Like,
it's a bad game.
Yeah,
you can't. There's nothing positive you can take out of that game.
Do you think in the meetings room this week, they're like, great job? Hutch, you were trying your ass off. You
really almost got there.
You almost did it.
You almost got there.
You almost did it. If you would have just, you would have. Great job. Game ball. Fuck no. There's nothing.
Yeah.
But if there, as a fan, for me, like if I had to have some stuff to take away from, I did. So run defense.
The run defense looked good.
It was really solid.
Yes.
Josh Jacobs, I think, is a premier, if not on the edge of premier running back. He's one of the better running backs in the National Football League. They got a really good run game. Yeah, top 10 for sure.
Yep.
So they did a good job against him. He only had like 66 yards.
67.
6'7". Brian Branch, the lone player, I'd probably say. And I didn't even think to say Sam Laporta. Maybe him too.
Sam Laporta had a good game.
Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. I mean, I can't beat up the weird wide receivers because that was a game plan awful situation,
and it was terrible.
Like, I believe shout out to our guy Al Carson, we had in here a few times, football guy Al.
Shout out.
He posted an interesting stat that Jared Goff had, I believe, 3 seconds to throw.
Yeah.
And it was like the most amongst the quarterbacks that week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and he was like 11th in pressure faced. So it's not like
yeah. that's where it's like the new coordinator stuff, which he spoke to the media a couple times now, and he's kind of blown off and says it's part of like the natural progression of an offense. I mean, he's been enough from now where you could take his word for it at some point, and I will, because it's true. Like, that is going to take some time. I think I at least expected that, but I think that's less of like cohesion with the roster than it is like the game plan.
Yeah. Because
like this is a really good roster. These are guys that, I mean, you saw the catch Amon was making. Mm-hmm. You saw the catch that Tesla had to make to even like make the catch.
That's a bright spot,
right?
Give the kid more touches.
Tesla, yeah, that's true. And like these guys are talented. I don't doubt, as much as they say players play, coaches coach. I don't buy into that. I really don't, because I saw this team without Ben Johnson. It was awful.
Yeah.
And that's why Ben get involved. A lot different.
So
I think coaching does fucking matter. It's not just a players play type situation. And like the players we have playing are really good.
Really good players.
All pro caliber guys.
Yep.
It's like the game plan, the route development, it was just too far down the field, took too long. That's not what we did last year.
No.
Last year, I believe Jared Goff had one of the quickest release times, like 2.5 seconds. Step back is out there. That's why the blitzes, the pressure, none of that shit really affected him last year because he was able to fucking find the open guy. Boom. Hopefully that changes. Obviously, you get to watch the film on that one. But it's just, I don't know.
I think John Morton and I think Hank Fraley have their work cut out for them this week.
For sure.
Because those are the two things that I look at that are the reason the Lions lost. Mm-hmm. The defense, you could say what you want about it. They came out in
they got better in the second half.
The first half, they were a little leaky.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. They came out in the second half, they played good ball. You can't give them 3 and outs and punting from the half-inch line and expect them to – they held this Green Bay Packers team with your offense doing absolutely nothing to 17 points for a vast majority of the game. You have to win that game. It's completely on the offense, and a vast majority of it is on the offensive line. I think the other piece is on Johnny Morton and his play calling.
Yeah. Yeah, the only other thing I'd say to the second half defensive adjustments, because I do think the defense looked better in the second half, like going back and looking at the stats, I think Green Bay only threw the ball like 6 more times.
Yeah.
They're just cruising in the second half because it was that bad of an ass whooping. And I got power rankings coming out with today, and I'll be honest with you, like the Lions they're not going to be reflected highly in that one. It's the way that they don't deserve it.
Yeah, it's week 1, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's freaking out, but
no, we suck again.
Except for Nick, but yeah, no, they're gonna beat the Bears. They're gonna be fine. But that was really ugly.
Yeah,
and as cliche as it sounds, maybe that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. You go out there, you get punched in the mouth by a rival, and you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, we actually got to work through this. It's not just gonna be, oh, look at our offense, we're the best in the league still. Like you're gonna have to work through this, and like I said. A vast majority of that game is on the offensive line because we know what this offense is. We know what Jared Goff's strong suit is. We know that this team is predicated, demanded, and reliant on the run game. And if you cannot run the ball, which they could not run the ball against the Green Bay Packers at all, you're not going to win a lot of games.
Amen. Running is the bread and butter of this offense.
If this team cannot run the ball consistently, they will not make the playoffs.
Do you have the film clip I sent today?
Yes.
Chris? And shout out to Jeremy Reisman. I'm pretty sure he's the one that posted this one. But just like the lack of – watch Tate Ratledge on this play.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Just the absolute lack of just communication.
They both go to the
right
same
into
guy.
Graham Glasgow.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys remember the play. I don't know if I sent that picture of that one yesterday, Chris. I probably didn't. But where – David Montgomery's handing up the ball, and right away he's faced with a defensive tackle in the end zone.
With Tate blocking nobody.
Yeah. And that was obviously a miscommunication there, too. That shit will iron itself out. The only thing there is to freak out about, in my opinion, is the fact that you have the second toughest schedule in the National Football League. Because, you don't really have time to iron it out. Now, obviously, situation, it's forcing you to figure it out. You have no other choice but to figure it out. But you have to also do it while winning football games. I see Dan Campbell and Jared Goff twice now have both referred to the 1-6 start and Ben Johnson's first year as offensive coordinator. I think we'll touch on that. Maybe we'll touch on that right away after the break. But they're 1-6. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? And the offensive part wasn't the rough start. We'll get into that. Well, I'll save that. How about that?